this is the guy we come to because Lord knows he knows a lot more than us. Well, there you have it, the short version of the long and short about these things. Shocks. There's 4 of them on every corner, and there's probably about 600 of them in the pits that are all completely different. And fun fact, none of these shocks on these race cars will fit a Corvette, and you can't really get these from CorvetteParts.net. You can get about everything else, but you can't get these shocks from CorvetteParts.net. Of course, it is summertime. We like to have a lot of fun, and one of the things we like to do is race. We like to play with shock absorbers too, apparently. Caden Quapple, last time we raced, it was not a good night for you. Did you get over that one yet?
Yeah, a little bit. It was hard to come by, finishing 7th and going into the race leading the points, and fell back with only 5 behind. So definitely hurt a little bit, but we're still pretty early in the season, so we kind of just push it off and hoping for a better year to come, better race to come.
So as it is summer, it's time to go grilling, cooking out. Let's talk about hot dogs. What do you like on your hot dogs?
Be honest, I don't like anything on hot dogs. I see it plain. Maybe I dip it in ketchup, but I don't like putting the ketchup on the hot dog. It don't sit right with me. I don't know why, but I don't really like toppings.
So wait, you don't put the ketchup, you just eat meat and bun?
Yeah, pretty much, and sometimes dip it in ketchup if I'm feeling good about it.
So what about the places that put the ketchup in the bun and then the hot dog?
I don't think so. It'll just make the bun soggy, I feel like. I don't know.
Well, at least he got his sauce choice right, by my opinion. Now, we asked Caden and his brother and a lot of other folks earlier this year, the age, well, it might not be an age-old question, but it's blown up social media in the last year or so. Is a hot dog a taco? Or is a hot dog a sandwich? Or could it be both?
It's summertime, and if you're like any other American, that means plenty of opportunities to grill up a few hot dogs and enjoy them with friends and family. But we're going to throw a wrench into this one. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Or is a hot dog a taco? Cars Tour drivers weighed in.
It's kind of like almost saying that cereal is a soup, so I would say that hot dog can be a sandwich if you made it. I don't know, you have a taco that has a meat in it, and also a hot dog that has a meat as well, so I mean, it could be a taco depending on, I would say a taco has its certain items that you put into it, and there's a hot dog that you put on that's the only thing you will put a hot dog on. So I would say you can make it a taco or a sandwich.
I could see how somebody said it, but maybe it's just a hot dog.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, it's a hot dog.
Is a hot dog a taco?
No.
Kinda, yeah, I could see it being a taco, yeah.
You know, it could be considered a taco, but normally tacos have a tortilla-ish shell, and a hot dog has a bun. And a tortilla it's also bread, but it's more of a thin bread, so I'd say a hot dog is kind of its own little category.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Is a hot dog a taco?
No.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No. No.
Is a hot dog a taco?
No, it's just a hot dog.
Absolutely not. No, definitely not. A hot dog, I would have to say a hot dog is a taco more than a sandwich. I think so, yeah, I agree, yeah.
No.
Is a hot dog a taco?
No, I don't. Hot dog's a hot dog.
I think a hot dog's a hot dog. It's more of a taco than a sandwich, just by the shape of the... Now, if you turn it sideways, if you split it, though, and then turn it sideways, that would be a sandwich.
So if the bun's not connected on either side?
And sideways, that's a sandwich.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Is a hot dog a taco?
No, gosh no, not even close.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Is a hot dog a taco?
Yes.
No, a hot dog is not a sandwich. No, no taco. I guess they're just completely different. I don't see a hot dog comparing a taco at all.
Where's Tony at? Saying, oh my God, really?
No matter how you pack it, top it, eat it, or dream it, no one will ever agree on this one. So we'll grill up one and agree to disagree, even if it is a taco and a sandwich by definition.
So, folks, what do you think? Other than the fact that you'd like to have an ice-cold beverage and maybe a hot dog in your hand right now, that sounds really, really good. Tell you what, tweet to us at Cars Tour and at Pit Row TV and tell us, is a hot dog a sandwich? Is it a taco? Is it whatever half those guys thought? Whatever. Anyway, do that, grab yourself a cold beverage, maybe a hot dog, and join us because we are getting ready to go racing right here at Tri-County Motor Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back and get this Keen Parts 200 started.
Hey, sir. Can I help you?
I'm hunting for a good bargain. A friend of mine sent me.
Okay. You want to come out from behind that bush?
Oh, sure. Looking for a gift for my wife's birthday.
Oh, yeah? What does she like?
She likes it when I say money, if you know what I mean.
Sure. Well, this pre-owned Camry has all the bells and whistles for a great price.
Yep, I think this'll do just fine.
Autos by Nelson. Stop by any of our dealerships today or visit us online.
For every get-together, for every spontaneous celebration, for every demanding job, unpredictable event, or peaceful getaway, there's a reliable Honda generator ready to give you more power, more freedom, more security, and the time to do what you want, where you want. That's the power of choice. That's power you can trust. That's a Honda generator.
Speedsport has been America's motorsports authority since 1934. Get news, results, and commentary from the most connected experts in the business, covering all forms of motorsports from flat track to NASCAR and everything in between. Bookmark speedsport.com on your mobile device now, or follow Speedsport on social, and be sure to subscribe to the Speedsport Daily. Speedsport is your one-stop shop for all things racing on 2 wheels and 4.
Wait, you thought the Cars Tour was taking a break? Ha! Not even close. Tonight, the Cars Tour Pro Late Models take center stage as they open the Keen Parts 200 here at Tri-County Speedway. With their biggest field of the season, Tri-County is the perfect place too, with freshly paved corners, multiple grooves, and plenty of excitement. Luke Fenhouse leads the series standings, but heartbreak has been the story of his season, most recently at Franklin County.
You know, we should have been better. We should have clean swept these boys.
Can he pull it all together tonight? Caden Quapple broke in Virginia, falling behind in the points, while Canadian Austin McDonald leads the charge of those behind looking to catch up, despite his own encounters of misfortune. Plus, tonight is part of a doubleheader with the Southern Super Series. Some of the stars of super late model racing like Bubba Pollard, Stephen Nasse, and Jake Garcia. Get to see the Cars Tour Pro Lates up close and personal. And the Cars Tour Late Model Stock Point leader, Carson Quapple. He's climbing behind the wheel of a super late model too. Oh yeah, this one's gonna be good. We hope the folks at CorvetteParts.net sell microwaves, because you're gonna need one for some popcorn tonight. It's time to go racing in the foothills of North Carolina. The Keen Parts 200 is coming up next.
For the Keen Parts 200 here for the Southern Super Series presented by Sunoco, as well as the Solid Rock Carriers Cars Tour Pro Late Models twin 100-lap features here tonight. Just a few moments away from opening ceremonies, we're getting the cars moved off from the Fan Fest, the pit party that was held down here trackside just a little bit ago. And once these cars moved around, regridded, we will commence with opening ceremonies with both series chaplain, the Reverend Joe Lewis, as well as our anthem singer today, Mr. Keith Porter. And if you're just joining us on Cars Tour TV, Mr. Tom Keene will be down here with us as well as one of our dignitaries, a sponsor of the event. And of course, he has a couple of guests here as well, which will be giving the command to start the Keen Parts 200 here in just a little bit. Most of you know me, I'm Tony Stevens. Up in the booth tonight is Lenny Baticki. James Pike will be on pit road. And Lenny, we've got cars moving. We're just a few minutes away from opening ceremonies down here trackside at Tri-County.
83 degrees outside. Nice little bits of clouds at twilight here. Partly cloudy, some may say. And we removed the Southern Super Series cars off the front stretch after a fan fest, a couple hours to meet and mingle with these drivers and to be able to grab some autographs. I saw Carson Quapple there by the Keen Parts car getting some autographs and such. And the fans seem to be enjoying themselves. A lot of them ranging at all ages, little kids all the way up to seniors here. They're parked around the racetrack. and it's going to be a beautiful night of racing here. The track's got some new characteristics to it. I'm sure James Pike and such, we will get some reports from him about the changes in the racing surface out there, maybe some of the commentary from the drivers that have been going out and doing their best to try to make it around this racetrack. Speaking of drivers, saw some drivers, saw Ryan Repko. He just won at Millbridge a week or so ago. Isabella Robusto, who is here, and we're certainly looking forward to her finally getting the magic into victory lane once again, as she has in so many other series, doing what she does in the late models around the Southeast, and a number of other folk that are here enjoying the race. We have a new flagman tonight that we will be showcasing. Brandon Willard is up with our friends at South Boston, doing a little bit of work there for the SRX series, so congratulations to Brandon. Well-earned opportunity for him. Fantastic young man, but we're equally proud of Mark Turner, who has joined us. Mark, pretty much the nation's flagman, as he has been coast to coast and border to border, waving the silks, and I believe in this fluffy mountain air, he will be able to waft them just elegantly across the racetrack, as he always would. So we have cars coming around to the front stretch to get ready for the command to actually start engines. 100 laps for the Cars Tour Pro Late Model Series. And William Swallich and Katie Hediger on the front row. Swallich, he has been on a tear, but Katie Hediger, fast in most of the practices and certainly fast in qualifying. And then there is Michael Indy out there, who is sitting in third with Jet Nolan, so a couple of Florida competitors. And then Austin McDonald, the Canadian, and Caden Quaffle, who had all kinds of mechanical problems right before he was ready to go out to his qualifying run, but was able to still make a pretty good lap, ended up qualifying sixth. So those are the front three rows. You'll see them pulling around. Tony Stevens will be getting the mic back fired up, and he and Tom Keene will give the signal to the drivers, or the guest, to be able to give the most famous words. I'm sure Tony looks like he is hitting the buttons to get ready. Let's go down to the yellow and black shirted Pittsburgh Penguin fan himself, Tony Stevens.
Thank you very much, Lenny. If only it were still hockey season, it wouldn't be nearly this hot. At this time, folks, I ask you please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats as we honor both God and country. First, with our invocation from Series Chaplain, the Reverend Joe Lewis, followed by the performance of our national anthem.
Lord, we're thankful that we've had a good weekend practicing and qualifying, and we have a great crowd here tonight to enjoy this wonderful time we have together. But we remember, dear God, that you're ahead of everything. And Lord, as we pray your scriptures, which says, let them run the race with patience and persevere in this race tonight. Keep everybody safe within the sound of my voice. And we'll thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
And if you remain standing for the performance of our national anthem today by Mr. Keith Porter.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And we are just a moment or two away, Lenny, from firing engines. We'll get everybody situated, make sure they're ready to participate, and we'll fire motors down here in just a couple of moments.
Thanks a lot, Tony, and fans, hang on, buckle up like the drivers are, because this one's going to be 100 fun laps with these pro late model drivers. Swalich and Hettinger and the rest to be charging right behind them. Weather pretty good out there, a lot of things happening. James Pike is somewhere patrolling the area. And hey, James, you got a lot going on down there. What's the vibe like tonight? So we'll get back with him in just a moment. So we will get with Pike. Looks like we're getting ready. Our folks there will be giving the command. Tony's with him. Everybody's got to be in just the place that they need to be. And we'll go back down to Tony Stevens.
Thank you very much, Lenny. Joined alongside Tom King. You got a lot of important people here with you, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Well, we're glad to have you involved. Now, who did you bring with us?
This is Dustin and his son, Landon.
Clearly, big Corvette parts fans. We'd love to see that from Keen Parts. They're going to be giving the command, correct?
They're going to kick it off.
Well, are you guys ready? All right. I know you're normally behind the wheel. Can you do this? You're sure? All right. Let's get this party started. What do you think, Tri-County? Did I hear a boo? What do you say? Do you want to get this party started? Gentlemen?
Drivers, start your engines!
The switch is flipping. Starting to hear those final bits of information from their crew and crew chief and the spotters and so many of them out there. I saw spotter Brad is over there spotting for one of the cars tonight. Lots of folks go into making these cars what they are and what they become out there on the racetrack. We see Tony Stevens bringing Tom Keene up to the tower while we're looking at the front row. William Swalich, that Starkey machine. William from Minnesota, came up through the Legends series. There's Caden Quaffle alongside of McDonald. How about Luke Fenhouse back there in the 96? I don't remember exactly what his qualifying lap was like, but certainly something that I believe he would probably rather have had back. And the rest of the field behind him, the 55, Charlie Keevan from the St. Louis area. He's got Taylor Strickland, Hut Strickland's son, helping with the equipment on that. Giovanni Ruggiero in the field. Landon Huffman, who is not the Landon Huffman that was Robert Huffman's son, will be in the field. You'll hear us call him. He is a go-kart racer that has moved up into stock cars. Luke Morey. You may have seen Luke on some of the Legend shows across the country. He is driving the 49 machine that you see there from shopdeegan.com and Bill Stein. Nice looking race car with that matte black, that tough matte black. That is really neat with the accent of the green. That's Luke Morey from Denver, North Carolina. Say hi to his mom, probably tuned in and watching on the west side of the lake. Here's the Keen Parts 200 qualifying. Swalich and Hettinger up front. The rest, as we have chatted about, looking at their cars up and down the list, all the way down to Cody King in the field. You see them moving back and forth across the old pavement and coming up onto what looks like newer pavement. Rusty Skews at the end of the field. As soon as we get our pit reporter into place, we'll be able to chat with him. Tony Stevens working his way up back on up to the booth after a rousing start your engine. The guests there. We'll look at the cars going by our speed shot. Now it started out in the upper 80s and then has fallen now to the lower 80s. And by the time we get to the finish of this, we'll be well in the middle of the 70s. And for the supers coming up, we could even be in the low 70s. So the track temperature should go through quite a range, probably 15 degrees from when they were doing things for qualifying earlier in the day and when the supers actually get towards the end of the race. William Swalich, the Starkey machine, the 6th, the Setzer name. You know, Dennis Setzer and his son Brandon, well, they have been a big part of setting up that race car. Lauren Rainier helping as well. Katie Hediger behind him, behind Michael Hind. And you see the field coming through. Here's the track info. Built in 85, 12 degrees in the turns, 9 in the straightaways, 0.4 of a mile, converted asphalt in 88. So they ran 3 or so seasons with this track as a dirt track. And if you were watching the super qualifying for the Southern Super Series, Carson Quaffle looked like he was fully dirt tracking out there. So we got Swalich choosing the outside, looks like, giving Hediger the inside lane. That's got to be a strategy move with our poles that are choosing the outside position. Tony Stevens, was there any indication that that would happen?
Not necessarily, but a lot of drivers have said they feel the middle or maybe the outer lane here is that much better than the bottom. So that could be possibly what William Swalich is thinking. I chatted with Brandon Setzer a little bit pre-race. He didn't give away a lot, as is typical Brandon Setzer, but we talked about a few things that we may figure something out before it's over with.
Well, they're tightening up now, and it doesn't look like there's any lights on the pace car. Be coming around to the attention of Mark Turner in the flag stand. The Keene 200 about to go green. We've got our first race on track here at Tri-County Motor Speedway in Hudson, North Carolina, and down through turns 1 and 2. William Swalich assumes the point.
No surprise, William Swalich out front. Remember, started on the pole here in the car's super late models 1 year ago. So for Swalich to be out front here, kind of a familiar place, but Katie Hettinger going to fall into the second spot, or will she, Lenny? Here comes Jet Nolan on the outside in that number 50 car. Talked about the middle of the outside lane being where a lot of folks are making hay. Guess what? That's where Jet Nolan now takes over 6th, or tries to, from Katie Hettinger.
Well, when we used to race BMX, they used to call us the Flying Floridians, and the two of them out there certainly flying, and especially when your name is Jet. You know all about flying, and he's come up from row 2 to assume the second position behind William Swalich. Swalich leading out of corner number 2. And joining us here quickly in the booth while we've got a moment, we'll say hi. Saw him down there trackside with our race sponsor, Tom Keene. And Tom, field looks like shaking and baking out there. Caden Quaffle sitting in 5th. What do you think he's got for?
Interesting.
Definitely so. What attracts you as a sponsor to a young, energetic driver like Caden Quaffle?
Well, we was involved with Travis when he was driving the 32 car for Archie St. Hilaire, and we've watched the kids literally grow up. So it's one of the deals that's just been a natural progression. Watching them go from Millbridge micro mini, what is it, micro minis, or
yeah, exactly,
wing sprints, whatever it is, and to what they're doing now. And as you know, what my feeling towards those two is that they're the next Kurt and Kyle Busch.
Well, they certainly prove it here on the short tracks across North Carolina. He's got a mirror full of Luke Fenhouse, the 96 car, right behind that white and black with the blue 35. That's Quaffle, who we're speaking with, and the Corvette Parts brand on that machine as he leads this foursome into 3. And coming out of turn number 4, Quaffle. The leader of the race is Swalich, followed by Jet Nolan, Katie Hettinger, and Michael Hind, top 4. And then you're looking at the drivers right behind them. And I'm not sure whether Quaffle is holding the others up because he's not fast enough, or if he's holding them up because he wants to go at this pace and he's not going to let them around him, even if he's not quite at leader pace. He's a smart kid, isn't he?
Yes. He's actually very, very, very intelligent, to the point that he makes everything look easy.
Well, he needs to get him a Corvette, and he'd have his life perfect, wouldn't he?
There you go.
I talked to our flagman, Mark Turner, and he said his favorite year Corvette is an 82. Have you got parts and pieces for a 1982 Corvette there at Keen Parts?
We got a bunch of them.
Wow. And I talked to another couple of folks that they were early 90s Corvette fans. How about those years?
We're not scared. Let's see what we can do.
Well, speaking of not scared, Tony Stevens has returned. Tom Keith, thank you for all you do. Great to have you chat with us.
Thank you.
Keen Parts and CorvetteParts.net, the sponsors of the Keen 200 tonight. And we were chatting about Quaffle maybe holding up Fenhouse and the rest of these four, but doing it because he wants to control the pace of the race. Do you see it that way, Tony?
It could be the case, Lenny, but here's the thing. They're a quarter of a lap. This group is behind the leader, William Sawalich. So Sawalich is in the middle of the backstretch. There he is, going by the Tri-County side. You see Jet Nolan behind him. The one thing that they may be trying to play right now could be cautions. We know there's likely chance we're going to have 1 or 2 yellows in this thing, so why burn your stuff up? That's the million-dollar question, and that's part of the game here. You got to play tire management.
Tire management, and was there any indication of tire wear with the repave in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4?
So it's kind of funny to see because ultimately we get down to, we're down there in the front straightaway with cars and different drivers, and we were talking a little bit about that during the autograph session with some different folks. I won't give away everything, but one driver looked over and said, yeah, that guy next to me, who was pretty good, guy next to me, man, look at those tires. I can still see the mold marks on those things. Those things didn't wear at all. Then they looked back at the other corner of the car, and they said, all right, well, he's using that corner of the car a little too much. All right, well, we'll keep that in mind for later. So things to keep an eye on, but I think it's a small concern. I did talk with Brandon Setzer a little bit. He said, oh, man, no, tire wear is not a problem for them in the 6 car. He said the only thing they ran across was a little bit of tire temperature. Nothing super excessive, but he told me, he said, just enough to get them greasy, and that can become a factor as this night goes on.
Temperature inside, outside, or just all over the face of the tire?
All over, pretty much. Just a little too much to where they were still comfortable with it, but they knew that it may be a case where you need to not so much save the tires, but keep them cool so they don't get greasy and you lose a bunch of grip.
So no concerns about fuel.
No.
Very little about tires. This is going to be a hammer down, go get it kind of race.
Absolutely it's going to be. And if you're watching on social, by the way, this is a free preview. It's over in about 3 laps. So if you've been watching for the last half an hour or so enjoying this Keen Parts 200, thank you on our free preview presented by MPM Marketing and all their websites and press releases and driver placements. They're all the cool stuff that they do. Thank them for bringing you this 25-lap snippet. But if Luke Fenhouse off turn 4 is the indication, in about a lap and a half, you're going to wish you were a subscriber at www.carstour.tv.
Giovanni Ruggiero on the inside of Fenhouse with intentions that are probably not in Fenhouse's favor. We'll say that.
Yeah, I talked to Luke down there a little bit during the autograph session as well. Let's just say they were scratching their head. They had one problem in practice. They fixed that problem, and like always happens, another problem popped up, and now they ran out of time to try to fix that. So it would not surprise me to see them make a swing or two at this before the day is over. And if you're on social media, that's it. That's the end of the 25-lap preview. We'll see you later. The entire show here tonight, live. Check it out, www.carstour.tv.
Now, Fenhouse really having to work to keep Giovanni behind him. And they come from different disciplines. Giovanni racing in the Southeast, Fenhouse racing in the Wisconsin, the Midwest there and such. Do you find, Tony, that there's, like in baseball, where the American League and the National League play a little bit of difference in there? Is Fenhouse style still working to gel with the Southeast style?
I think it's just a matter of learning some of that stuff, learning these tracks, learning different things. But now he's got to figure out a race car that's ill handling, and that's not easy.